Welcome to the iPXE Anywhere Installation Guide. In this guide we will be covering the 2.0 software 2PXE Server install and the iPXE Anywhere Web Service install. 2PXE Server can be configured for integration with Configuration Manager or for standalone PowerShell integrated installation. This guide will focus on the PowerShell integrated installation using self-signed certificates. Step 1. Requesting a download link. Open a browser and go to 2.software.com. Select the products link and then click on iPXE Anywhere in the drop-down menu. On the iPXE Anywhere page, scroll down to the bottom and then click on the download button. Fill out the requested information and then click Send Request. Within a few minutes, you will receive a link in your email where the software can be downloaded. Step 2. Downloading the software. Click on or paste the link from the email into a browser. Click on 2PXE Server. From here select 3.7, which is the latest available version, and then select the three dots next to the latest build and select Download. Once the download completes, navigate back to the top iPXE Anywhere menu and click on WebService. From here select 3.7, which is the latest available version, and then select the three dots next to the latest build and select Download. Step 3. Installing 2PXE Server and iPXE Anywhere Web Service. Before starting, ensure that the prerequisites have been installed. From the Downloads directory, right-click on the 2PXE zip file and select Properties. Click on the Unblock box and then click OK. Repeat for the iPXE Anywhere zip file. Right-click on the iPXE Anywhere zip file again and then select Extract All. Select the extracted directory and then double-click the MSI file to start the installation. Accept the license agreement. For the license, either leave the default selection or enter your license key if you have one. If you do enter a key, make sure it is for the iPXE Anywhere Web Service, as the 2PXE Server key will not work. Leave HTTPS selected and then click Next. Enter the database server and instance. Leave the default database name. Leave Windows Authentication selected and then click on Test Connection. Leave the default install directory. In Explorer, navigate back to the Downloads directory. Right-click on the 2PXE zip file and then select Extract All. Select the extracted directory and then double-click the MSI file to start the installation. Accept the license agreement. For the license, either leave the default selection or enter your license key if you have one. If you do enter a key, make sure it is for the 2PXE Server, as the iPXE Anywhere Web Service key will not work. Uncheck the Use boot.di in BootVim. Select the IP version 4 address from the Please Select drop-down. Select the iPXE Anywhere Web Service integrated option. Change HTTP to HTTPS and enter the FQDN of the server followed by :8051. Leave Log On as local system account selected. Click on Test Port. Leave the default install directory. Leave the default firewall rules. Blank out the user account name and password. Open the services and verify that the services for both products are running. Both products should be listed in Programs and Features. Step 4. Import the root CA. Open the local certificate store by running cert lmd-msc. Expand Trusted Root Certification. Right-click on Certificates and then select All Tasks Import. Browse to Program Files 2.0 Software 2.PXE x64 and select CA. This will install the certificate under the Trusted Root Certification Authority's certificate store. Step 5. Generate a FQDN self-signed certificate. This only needs to be done if one was not initially created during the installation. Expand Personal and then select Certificates. Double-click the certificate issued by 2.0 Software. Select the Details tab, scroll down and select Subject Alternative Name. If the DNS name already contains the FQDN name, then skip ahead to Step 6. If not, proceed by deleting the certificate. In Explorer, navigate to Program Data 2.0 Software 2.PXE Certificates. Select all of the files and delete them. Navigate to Program Files 2.0 Software 2.PXE. Shift right-click on the config file and select Copy as path. Open an elevated command prompt. Type Notepad and then paste in the copied path. This will allow the file to be saved once it is modified. Scroll down to the external FQDN override key and enter the FQDN of the server name in the value. Save and close the file. Restart the 2.PXE server service and then check that the new FQDN certificate was generated. Copy the thumbprint of the certificate, avoiding the trailing space. Open the registry and navigate to HKey Local Machine Software 2.0 Software iPXE Anywhere Web Service. Enter the thumbprint for the host certificate thumbprint value. Restart the iPXE Anywhere service. From an elevated command prompt run netsh http show SSL. Each of the port bindings should all show the updated certificate thumbprint. Step 6. Configure IIS bindings. Open the Internet Information Services Manager. Expand the nodes and select the default website. Select Bindings. Add a new binding for HTTPS and select the certificate with the FQDN. Restart the website. Step 7. Create the IIS virtual directory. Right-click on Default Website and select Add Virtual Directory. Enter Remote Install for the alias. Browse to Program Data 2. Software 2 PXE Remote Install for the physical path. Step 8. Add the IIS MIME types. Run the IIS MIME types PowerShell script that can be found in the 2 PXE server documentation under the Configuration section. In IIS Manager, confirm that the MIME types were added. Step 9. Download and stage the iPXE Anywhere web service scripts. In the iPXE web service documentation, there is a link in the install section to the 2. GitHub repository where the scripts can be downloaded. Click on this link. On the GitHub page, click on the green code button. From the drop-down menu, select Download Zip. Once the file is downloaded, unblock the zip file and extract it. In the extracted subfolders, copy the scripts directory to program files 2. Software iPXE Anywhere WS. There are example scripts that can be used for creating custom menus and advanced options. Step 10. Stage the WinPE boot image. Create a new folder called WinPE under Program Data 2. Software 2 PXE Remote Install. Navigate to Program Files x86, Windows Kits, 10, Assessment and Deployment Kit, Windows Pre-installation Environment, AMD 64, Media, Boot. Copy BCD and boot.sdi to the WinPE folder created in the previous step. Also copy your boot image into this directory. The default WinPE boot image from the ADK can be used for testing. Next, navigate to Program Data, 2-Pint Software, 2PXE, Remote Install, Boot, and then copy the vim boot x86x64 EFI file into the WinPE folder. When finished, the WinPE folder should have 4 files. Step 11. Edit the iPXE boot script. Open an elevated PowerShell ISE window. Next, open the iPXE boot script found in Program Files, 2-Pint Software, iPXE Anywhere WS, Scripts, Boot. Edit line 31 by changing Config Manager to WinPE, and changing Build with Config Manager to Boot to WinPE. Edit line 36 by changing Exit to WinPE. Edit line 40 by changing Config Manager to WinPE. Edit line 41 by changing script name equals Config Manager to Custom. Also edit default Config Manager.ps1 to WinPE.ps1. When finished, save the script. Step 12. Edit the WinPE script. Open the WinPE PS1 script that is located in the Scripts, Custom directory. Edit line 19 to include the FQDN name of the iPXE server followed by / remote install. Make sure it is in single quotes. Edit line 28 and rename WinPE11.vim to WinPE.vim. When finished, save the script. Step 13. iPXE boot a Hyper-V VM. Due to Hyper-V limitations, secure boot needs to be disabled. Also, make sure either DHCP scope options or IP helpers are configured. On the Authentication menu, select User PIN. Enter 42 for the PIN. The Boot to WinPE option is now the default and should now boot up the device into WinPE. Thank you for watching the iPXE Anywhere Evaluation Guide. If you have any questions or issues, feel free to reach out to us.